to welcome you all on behalf of the family.
Thank you, Professor Vedya. And on behalf of our family, I would like to welcome you all. I'm really happy to see that many people are interested and many students, and I'm sorry some of the students have to sit on the floor or stand, but I'm really happy that you're here. Our family, as Professor Ram Sharma said, myself and my husband and my sister Ava is here, and her husband and my sister Feroza, and between us we have 6 children, so all of us. So we welcome you. I'd like to actually start by thanking, but that's the duty of my sister Ava, who will do it right at the end. But I really would like to thank School of Planning and Architecture. And I know I'm really looking at all of you. I know all the people I'd like to thank, but later. Let me start with our father, Cyrus Jhabvala. He was born in Bombay, and he was from his father. He was born in Bombay in 1920, one of 7 children. His father was very much, he worked with labor unions and was in jail for many years. And so our father had to start working very early at the age of 16. And he also went to the JJ school in the evening classes. But he got involved in as part of the Students' Union, 1942, the Quit India movement. And I think JJ school was shut for a couple of months, and then he left and never went back. And later he went to England, did the exam for the Royal Institute of British Architects, and became an associate, later a fellow. In England he met my mother, they got married. My mother was a refugee from Germany. She then became a well-known writer and a screenwriter, and then they both came to India and had us 3. We were thinking of him as a father, but later on, as we grew up, we realized he was much more. He was a teacher, as Ram Sharma has said. He taught for many long years in the school. He started teaching in 1949 when he was 29 years old. And I think that was just after independence. It was the only job he could get. There was no jobs for architects. And so he came to Delhi and began teaching here. And that became his Karam Bhumi, as it were. So he taught from 1949, was up to 1978, with, of course, a gap of about 9 years in the middle. He was also a practicing architect. And we knew very little about the buildings. We knew a bit, but we didn't know how much work he did. He passed away in 2014, and we went to his office and found that he had, maybe 30 years ago, rolled up all the plans and sort of put them into cupboards. And I should really thank Mihir Bhatt, who put his team to work with me. And we took out the plans and categorized them, and there were over 400 buildings, and we find that there still are many buildings that weren't listed. And then he was an artist. He's done 3 books. If you look outside, there are some sketches. And he's done 3 books over from 1990 up to his last one was in 2012. So after he passed away in 2014, we felt many of his students sent us recollections, and we realized that he had made quite a impression, and we thought it would be good if we could reconnect about what he had done, revive some of the buildings, bring them out again. And so we approached the School of Planning and Architecture, talked to Professor Vaidya. He was very positive. And we spent a lot of time, we talked to a lot of people thinking about what it is that we can do. And what we were told, I'm not an architect, my sister's an architect, but not me, so I don't know anything about the architectural field, but what we were told was that what was lacking was that there is a lot of very good work in India and abroad, but there's very little opportunity to share about what are the new ideas, what are the innovations, as Professor Sharma said, in scholarship and in actual practice. And that is something that would be very beneficial, especially for the students and for the faculty, and of course for practicing architects. So we decided to launch this series of the memorial lecture in his name. And at the same time, we have excavated some of his drawings, and we have a young photographer here who took photographs. We didn't find any photographs, and I think Professor Chisti will talk a little bit about the exhibition. So the idea of this memorial lecture series, my father was very fond of innovation, of creativity. He encouraged creativity, he loved creativity, but also was very, very practical. So functional buildings, functional work, and aesthetic or rather design, aesthetic design through function. And I know that he would be very happy, and we're very happy that Raj Jhabvala is giving the first lecture. He was also a student of our father, and also a friend, and he will be talking about, I mean, you know what he'll be talking about, the lectures outside also. But we were really happy that he is talking about his ideas and also how they were influenced, his ideas and his practice, and how they were influenced by our father. And we hope that this kind of new ideas, understanding, can be repeated year after year. What we plan a little bit, and if anybody has ideas, we'd be happy to listen to them. What we plan to do in the future is, of course, keep this memorial lecture on. We also hope to increase the exhibition that we have now, and we also hope to bring things out on websites. So this for us is a launch of reconnecting with Cyrus Jhabvala, and we hope you will continue with us. Thank you.
Thank you.